Hey, what's up everyone? So recently you may have seen this motorcycle. We had dyno tuned it, so this was a stock 107 and had an air cleaner upgrade and stuff. But ever since we dyno tuned it, after that had really good throttle response, ran really well. And then he noticed that he lost power. Then he noticed he had lost some motor oil, but there was no oil leak. So he actually had an issue with the oil pump sumping. So at this time he decided to go ahead and upgrade. And what we decided to do was end up going with an S&S cam plate and an S&S oil pump. So some of you guys have heard how the older style oil pumps need to be replaced because of the sumping issue. So you can see here the S&S one has this groove, kind of upgrading it like the newer style, and then you run this seal behind the oil pump. This is from Harley Davidson, and then that kind of helps you seal everything in there and keeps it from sumping. But I wanted to show you guys some of the details now that I have this out. So this is your stock oil pump, and look at the, I don't know, their style or their way of thinking. Look how the gears are machined. Kind of has like a groove right there. You would think you would lose oil pressure compared to the S&S one. You can also see how many teeth this gear has compared to how many teeth this gear has. So this gear here is going to give you more volume, more pressure compared to this one here. So we can see that this is a cast aluminum style, or something to do with pewter aluminum, compared to the S&S one, right? It's going to be all billet and machined near perfect. So here is the cam plate, factory cam plate, and here's your S&S cam plate. You can see where it has bushings for in the future, if you needed to service the cam plate, you can still change bushings and get it serviced. Of course, we're going to do some lifter cuffs, a cam change from S&S adjustable push rods with tubes. But I would also want to take this opportunity now. We're going to install a Screaming Eagle 447 cam. So I wanted to show you guys the difference here. So the lift is going to be a little bit higher from here to here, right? The lift. Yes, I know that's not how you get total lift for some of you guys out there, but I just wanted to show you guys that it is kind of taller here than it is from here. But also wanted to show you guys, you can see the difference on the duration, which is right here compared to your stock one right here. You can see how it becomes more of a point compared to this one. So the longer duration, the valve stays open longer, letting fuel in and exhaust out, and of course giving you more performance. This is a torque cam, so hopefully that gives us a little bit more performance. What we're going to do is, once we get everything assembled, we're going to go ahead and dyno tune it and then show you guys the difference. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and start getting everything washed, clean, chase the threads, and then start assembling. Alright guys, so we got everything already all clean, chase the threads and everything. We already changed the cam bearing, but I'm going to take this opportunity to show you guys. We've done it plenty of other times before. So this one here is the stock factory one. This back one here is the S&S one. You can see where that one has roller against roller, and that one right there has roller cage roller. So it is always recommended to put an aftermarket cam bearing. I myself like either the Screaming Eagle ones or the S&S ones. They make a humongous difference. It just takes a lot more abuse, more heat. It's probably a little bit stronger the way it sits right there. So anyway, I also want to take this opportunity. Also, you've heard me say it a lot of times, you know, chase the threads, guys. You see all that grime that's inside the threads. So we chase all these threads here, clean up the threads and the bolts. And what that helps you with is, so make sure that everything sits correctly all the way down and you get a true torque reading. I don't know how some of you guys that are doing this at home, they don't have the proper tools like tapping dies. Even this you can still buy at Lowe's, but a lot of times you guys don't have the proper tools to change the cam bearing and stuff. Guys, if you need to, support your local motorcycle shop and have them help you guys out on this stuff here. But anyway, next thing I'm going to do is get ready to install the oil pump, cam plate, cam and lifters and stuff. Continue with that, and then once I get that going, I'll show you guys the process before we start closing up the case. All right guys, so we just removed the spark plugs from this motorcycle to help me rotate the motor to install the oil pump and cam plate. And at the beginning of the video, you guys had heard me say that we had previously dyno tuned it before. So you can see it's running a real nice beige brown color, a little rich down at the bottom. You guys have heard me say it before that I like running it around 13.7, 13.8 down low, keeps the temperature down, and then really nice somewhere around 14.1, 14.3 in the highway to give you some real good fuel economy. And there is the results right there. You can see right around there where my nail is, right there is the timing mark. So overall this thing is running really good. So recently Daniel put a external crankcase breather on it, so you can see a little bit of oil residue there, but he is no longer going to have that problem because he already took care of that problem and routed it out, so it's no longer going back into the air cleaner. So what I'm going to do now is continue on the cam plate and oil pump, but I just wanted to take this opportunity and show you guys how good that thing was running. And we're going to re-dyno tune it once everything's assembled, but let me get back to the other side and finish that up. All right, so we got the oil pump installed, all lubed up, and the cam's getting ready. You've heard me say this before. Also, make sure you guys use plenty of lube, so at the initial startup, whenever it gets started, none of this stuff is turning in there dry while the oil pump starts producing oil and pushing oil pressure through and oil velocity through all the galleries and stuff. It could damage something very fast, and if it pre-damages it, then it's just going to get worse during time of riding. So for whatever this thing costs, this thing's worth the money. Just put a shitload of it. So let me get this installed, torqued down to specs, and then we'll continue with the lifters. All right, so there we go. Everything is bolted down, torqued to specs and stuff. I wanted to show you guys, here is the S&S lifter cuffs, and that bolt there comes with S&S kit, and these bolts here which go on the lifter blocks. These bolts and that bolt are very strong compared to the factory ones. These are the plastic lifter cuffs that hold the lifters while the lifter's going up and down. Now every time you install one of these, it gives you the opportunity to run a higher lift cam. The Star Racing ones have even the ability to run a higher lift cam, somewhere around the 615 for a M8. So anyway, the next step is for me to finish closing that up, get everything installed, then I'll put the throttle body back on, start installing the exhaust pipes, and crank it. Alright guys, so it's pretty late at night. We just finished dyno tuning Daniel's motorcycle for the second time. So let me go ahead and show you guys the graphs and the details and what was the outcome. So if you bear with me here real quick. So originally He came in for stock 107 cubic inch. Our base run was 78 horse, 106 torque, and then we ended up dyno tuning the motorcycle using a Power Vision license. So then he ended up with 87 horses, 114 torque. You can see the graph there. What a big difference. Really, really nice. And the motorcycle ran great and everything. That's when he noticed he was losing power, and when came up with the idea that it was sumping, and we went through the whole process. During that process of changing the oil pump in the cam plate, well, we installed the Screaming Eagle 447 cam, did a little bit more tuning, and ended up with 98 horse, 116 torque. So let me shut this thing over here off. So pretty nice graph there. You can see the red was the baseline, the blue was the first time we dyno tuned it, no cam, stock motor, and then the green is the Screaming Eagle 447 cam. So you can see right here, 3500, it's kicking on really nice. So this is your riding right here, where you're riding, and then you're on the highway right around 3200, 3500 miles RPMs, and you're going around 80 miles, 85 miles an hour. So you have all this torque to pass a semi, pass a car. You have all this horsepower, so that you roll on the throttle, torque kicks in. After RPM and torque, it ends up with horsepower, and then the horsepower just climbs and climbs and climbs and keeps climbing all the way across. So horsepower went all the way to 6200. Just really nice. Very, very impressed with the outcome. There's numbers there. Anyway, we want to thank Daniel for letting us do this to his motorcycle. His motorcycle is very, very clean. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We have more cool videos coming soon.